What's up, good people? Thank you guys for joining. I have a special guest tonight. I wanted to go live because I think it's very important that you hear some information directly from the people who are involved. If you don't know me by now, my name is Marq Lewis. For those who do not know me, I'm an activist, and do me a favor, share this video. This video is going to be very powerful. For those who would like to know more information about Crystal Mason, Crystal Mason is a political prisoner. Crystal Mason has been, she is now serving 10 months in federal penitentiary because of voting. This here was a supervisory release, I would say some form of, she violated her supervisory release, and so that's why she's serving 10 months. But she also has to still serve 5 years. That's what we have now. So some developments happen over the last couple of days in reference to Crystal's case, and I wanted to bring on Kim Cole because Kim Kim has been instrumental in working on Crystal's case from the inception. So Kim, thank you for joining. I really appreciate you coming on in this short notice, but I wanted to make sure I give you the opportunity to talk about what has developed in Crystal's case and why it was so important for the general public to know what is happening, because we saw some things coming around. A lot of people on social media were saying some things, but you have some new developments, and I want to make sure that you tell us what happened. So please, Kim, welcome to the show again. You've been a favorite. Tell us what happened with Crystal and all the different things that has been developed recently.
So, thank you for having me on this show, Mark. Just to give a little background, as you guys are aware, Crystal Mason was convicted in March of last year for illegal voting, for voting in the 2016 general election. She had been previously convicted in federal court of a tax crime. She had served her sentence, had discharged her prison sentence, and was on supervised release when she voted in the 2016 general election. It is not illegal for felons to vote in the state of Texas. Felons do have the right to vote. However, they're not supposed to vote until they're done with any term of probation or parole or supervision. And Crystal was not aware that she had to wait until her supervised release expired before exercising her right to vote.
Okay.
So, and let me make it very clear that the crime is not in voting while you're on probation or parole. The crime is knowing that you didn't have that right and doing so anyway. And in Crystal's case, she had no clue that she was not eligible to vote. She misunderstood the law, but the law made a provision for that. You're only guilty of that offense if you know that you couldn't vote and voted anyway. Regardless, Crystal was found guilty, sentenced to 5 years in prison. That state case is being appealed. It's currently on appeal. However, in her federal case, her underlying federal case, the judge did sentence her to do 10 months in prison for getting a new conviction, which would be the voting charge, getting a new conviction while she was on supervised release. So, Crystal is currently serving out her 10-month sentence. Now she is eligible to serve out the rest of her sentence in a residential reentry center, which is commonly known as a halfway house.
Okay.
So she's eligible to go to a halfway house. And in the process of, I guess, getting her prepped to go to the halfway house, the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Tarrant County advised the Federal Bureau of Prisons that there was a warrant for Crystal's arrest for a sewer violation on one of her properties.
So wait a minute. She's currently in prison right now, and she has a warrant out for her arrest, or had a warrant out for arrest for a sewer violation?
Yes, for a sewer violation. And the weird part is, and I believe that this was strategic on the part of Tarrant County, as we discussed previously, Tarrant County GOP.
Kim, I think we lost you. All right, guys, it looks like we lost Kim. I don't know what happened. I'm sure she'll call back. Yeah, this was getting really good. Looks like Kim, we've lost you for, I don't know, you've put on hold. But okay, Kim, you're back now. I'm sorry about that.
I apologize.
Okay.
No, it was me. I had a call coming in.
No problem.
So
Kim, start over and tell us about, you were starting with the GOP and how she now has a warrant out for her arrest, or she had a warrant out for her arrest for having a sewer violation while she is serving her 10 months in federal penitentiary.
Right. So she had a warrant out for her arrest. It was a probable cause warrant, which means they hadn't filed charges. But there was a warrant which would prohibit her from going to a residential reentry center. As it turns out, once we investigated this warrant was actually issued on the exact same date as her hearing to revoke her federal supervised release.
Wow.
So it is my firm belief that Tarrant County, wanting to make sure that they held their, fish on the hook and, kept her, made sure that she went to jail for something, they put this warrant out on August 30th in the event that the federal judge didn't sentence her to prison time, because he did have that option to allow her to remain out on supervised release. However, he did opt to send her back to federal prison. So, given that she was sent back to federal prison, Tarrant County took no action on the warrant. Well, now fast forward 5 months later, she's eligible to be released, and the warrant's still sitting out there. So I began to inquire about the warrant, and lo and behold, they decided to act on it now. They decided to get it over to the district attorney's office. So last week, they turned this case over to the district attorney's office, and on Monday, Tarrant County District Attorney chose to press charges against Crystal for a sewer violation.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching this debacle to unfold, Kim, she's in prison currently right now because she violated her supervisory release.
Yes.
Because she just did a vote, okay? And they saying it's done illegally. So while she's in prison, they wanted to file new charges on a sewer issue?
Yes, to keep her from getting out, because once she goes to a residential reentry center, she'll be able to work, and she'll just have to sleep there at the facility, and have, a curfew or whatever. But at least she will be able to work and be able to keep her home and take care of her.
So I understand that after this this news came out, there was a lot of attention and a lot of calls that was made towards the district attorney. Could you take us through that process and where we are right now?
Certainly. After this warrant came out, of course, this was posted on social media, and people in the community got involved, put the district attorney's phone number out there. People made calls. I connected with the Arlington NAACP president, Elisa Simmons, and she was able to get in contact with Sharon. And so while she and I were on the phone this morning, she was texting Sharon.
And Sharon is the district attorney for
Sharon is yes, Sharon Wilson is the district attorney for Tarrant County, and so she we prepared a statement. The local NAACP, the Arlington NAACP, had prepared a statement that was very, I would say, very sharply worded, rebuking Sharon Wilson for deciding to press charges on something so trivial for a woman who is already sitting in prison, again, for something so trivial. So what Sharon did was she advised Elisa Simmons that if Crystal's attorney would call up there and request that the charges be dropped, she would go ahead and drop them.
And
so,
what attorney are we talking about here?
The attorney who actually signed up on the case is Albert Roberts, who was Sharon's opponent in this last election in 2018. He didn't win. He ran for district attorney. He did very well, but Sharon, won. But he was her opponent, and he actually used to work in the district attorney's office. So he was the one who called, and the charges right now have been dismissed, and the warrant has been recalled. So now Crystal is eligible to serve out the remainder of her sentence in a halfway house.
Wow, that's amazing. What would have happened if this would have gone ignored? That nobody did anything in reference to that?
Crystal would be in federal prison, and I'm sure they're hoping to keep her incarcerated until the decision on the state appeal comes down, so that she's never out on the street again. They just want to keep her locked away for as long as possible.
Okay, Kim. So for petty's sake, I want to make sure I got this correct. How many people are involved in getting Crystal that particular warrant to be dropped? How many people were involved with that process?
There were three of us. That was myself, Elisa Simmons, and Albert Roberts.
Wow. Well, we owe you guys a debt of gratitude. Thank you guys so much for what you've done. So right now, Crystal is eligible to go to a halfway house. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes.
She is now eligible to go to a halfway house.
There is. The Federal Bureau of Prisons, they emailed me again this afternoon. There are a few more documents that I need to get over to them, but she is, at least that's not stalling the process, because they wouldn't even consider her with an open warrant.
Wow.
So,
Kim, I just want to say thank you on behalf of the social justice community for sticking with this case. We understand that so many attorneys would have dropped this case because you're doing this pro bono. I just want to put this out there. Kim is not going to say that. I have talked with Kim off camera a lot. She is doing all of this pro bono, and a lot of people you have contacted people to help you along with this case to do this for pro bono, all because for the sake of justice. And Kim, on behalf of the activist community and people who are watching, thank you so much, because you could have allowed this case to die, and we don't know where we would have been. But I want to say thank you for just standing in the gap, Kim. I really appreciate that.
You're very welcome. I do this. This is my passion, and I just injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So we can't let this go unnoticed. So
Kim, before I let you go, is there any other cases you're working on that you want to let us know in? Is there anything?
You'll have to have me on another show. There's
okay.
plenty that I'm working on, and you'll have to have me on.
Okay. Well, Kim, thank you for all that you do. And we do want to talk to Crystal, so hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Crystal soon and find out how she's transitioning, and that to let everybody know that, she has fans out here. We're rooting for her. So if you could send that message to her when you talk to her, to let her know that all of us, we love her so much and we are rooting for her because we know that this is only temporary.
I certainly will. Thank you for covering this, Mark.
No problem. Take care. Thank you guys for joining, and I take care of yourself. God bless. Peace.